Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastava with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss future strategies with stakeholders from banks and NBFCs tomorrow. COVID-19 fatality rate drops to 2.25%. Total recoveries cross 9.5 lakh mark. India all set to welcome the first batch of 5 Rafale jets tomorrow morning. Government notifies changes in foreign direct investment norms on civil aviation. Permits non-resident Indians to own 100% stake of Air India. And veteran actor Kumkum passes away in Mumbai. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will join stakeholders from banks and NBFCs to discuss and deliberate on vision and roadmap for the future tomorrow. The topics on agenda include credit products and efficient models for delivery, financial empowerment through technology, prudential practices for stability and sustainability of financial sector. Banking sector plays an important role in contributing to India's economic growth through financing infrastructure, agriculture, local manufacturing, including MSMEs. Financial inclusion can play a big role in financial empowerment through technology. Senior officers from the government will also be a part of the interaction. The government today said that country's case fatality rate CFR further improves and drops to 2.25%. The Union Health Ministry said India continues its march as a country with one of the lowest fatality rates in the world. This achievement is a result of effective implementation of containment strategy combined with house-to-house surveys, aggressive testing and standardized clinical management protocols. The ministry said, under the guidance of the central government, the governments of the state and union territories have focused on reducing the fatalities by effectively managing the severe cases. They are prioritizing care of the high-risk population, using field health care workers, leading to decrease in the CFR across the country. The CFR has reduced from around 3.33% in mid-June to 2.25% today. The ramped-up 3-tier hospital infrastructure, along with prompt and seamless patient management, has helped consistent increase in the recoveries. For the 5th day in a row, India has seen more than 30,000 recoveries per day. The focused efforts of the centre and the state and UT governments on early detection and isolation, along with handholding by the expert teams of AIIMS, New Delhi, have borne results with continuously improving recovery rate. The ministry said the recovery rate has seen a sharp increase from around 53% in mid-June to more than 64% till date. During the last 24 hours, more than 35,000 patients were discharged and the total recoveries reached to over 9,52,000. With daily recovery number improving, the gap between the recovered cases and the active cases is also persistently increasing.
India has conducted more than 5 lakh COVID-19 tests in a single day over 2 consecutive days. The Union Health Ministry said this is the outcome of the combined and focused efforts of the centre, state and union territory governments on aggressive testing. During the last 24 hours, India tested a total of 5,15,000 samples. Testing is the first important step in the early detection and isolation of COVID-19 positive cases. The graded and evolving response resulted in a testing strategy that steadily widened the testing network in the country, and the cumulative testing has crossed 1 crore 73 lakh. The tests per million has further improved to 12,562. The Health Ministry said the testing capacity of India has received another boost with the induction of 3 high-throughput testing facilities in Noida, Mumbai and Kolkata that were inaugurated virtually by the Prime Minister yesterday. The testing lab network in the country has been strengthened with 1,310 labs in the country, 905 labs in the government sector and 405 in the private lab. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually launched 3 high-throughput COVID-19 testing facilities yesterday. These facilities are located at the National Institute of Indian Council of Medical Research at Kolkata, Mumbai and Noida. He said these high-tech testing facilities will boost the testing capacity by almost 10,000 daily tests. He said more number of tests will assist early detection and treatment, which will bolster the fight against coronavirus. The Prime Minister forewarned people to be cautious during the celebration of festivals in order to keep the virus contained.
हमारे ये उत्सव उल्लास का कारण बने, लोगों में संक्रमण न फैले, इसके लिए हमें हर सावधानी रखनी है. हमें ये भी देखते रहना होगा कि उत्सव के इस समय में गरीब परिवारों को परेशानी ना हो.
The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi has further improved to 88.83%. It continues to be the state with the highest recovery percentage in the country. The city recorded recovery of 1,135 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 1,17,507. The Sassoon General Hospital at Pune in Maharashtra has claimed to have reported the country's first case of vertical transmission of the coronavirus infection from a mother to her child through the placenta. The hospital is in the process of documenting this case in a reputed international journal. We have a report from our Mumbai correspondent.
Explaining the phenomena, Pune's Sassoon General Hospital's Pediatrics Department head, Dr. Aarti Kinikar said, vertical transmission of virus takes place when the baby is in the uterus. If the mother is infected, either symptomatic or asymptomatic, the transmission of the virus takes place through the placenta, an organ that develops in the uterus during pregnancy and provides oxygen and nutrients to the growing baby. Dr. Kinikar said, in the present case, which was quite challenging for them, the woman had symptoms for a week before her delivery. The woman was then tested, but her reports were negative. Dr. Kinikar said, after the baby girl's birth, swabs of the child's nose, the umbilical cord and placenta were tested and the reports came out positive. The baby was then kept in a separate ward. Later, the baby developed severe infection and was kept in intensive care, and after 2 weeks, she settled down and recovered. Both the mother and the child have been discharged. Sweetie Jane, AR News, Mumbai.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edapadi Palaniswamy is expected to hold a meeting with all the district collectors through video conferencing tomorrow. The agenda on the table would be the future course of the lockdown in the state. The COVID-19 infections in the state crossed 2,27,000 today, with a confirmation of close to 7,000 new cases today. More from our correspondent.
In Chennai, major government health facilities have started operating special wards for suspected COVID-19 patients. Generally, in the past, patients were admitted into COVID-19 wards after a person tests positive for the virus. Under the new system, if a person experiences trouble breathing, he or she can be straight away admitted into the suspected COVID ward, even if the test has not yet been held. The reason is to start the treatment early, as breathlessness is a strong sign of the disease. Officials believe that the new measure would help further reduce mortalities. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
All India Institute of Medical Sciences Delhi will hold the second session of National Clinical Grand Rounds tomorrow at 3 p.m. The interactive session, which will be led by AIIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria, focuses at facilitating insightful discussion on COVID-related issues. Senior doctors of the Premier Health Institute will be discussing on the usage of antiviral and anti-IL-6 drugs in moderately severe COVID cases. Doctors from medical colleges and senior physicians from hospitals located across the country and abroad will be participating in the online session. We have a report.
AIIMS has been extensively involved in managing patients, developing guidelines, policies and research in COVID-19. The Medical Institute has managed over 5,000 patients of all severity of the disease. In an effort to share its experience and initiate discussions on management of common issues related to COVID-19, AIIMS Delhi, in conjunction with Niti Aayog and Health Ministry, launched the National Clinical Grand Rounds on COVID-19. These sessions include presentation of clinical cases by physicians directly involved in COVID management. Challenges faced in the management are also discussed by a panel of eminent experts from across the country and outside India. With Anand Chaturvedi, Suparna Segya, AIR News, Delhi.
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said the preemptive and proactive measures have helped in controlling the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He said the coronavirus fatality rate has reduced to 2.25% and most cases are largely asymptomatic. While participating in the World Hepatitis Day second Empathy E-Conclave today, Dr. Harshvardhan said it is important to create awareness about the higher risk of morbidity and mortality faced by people with comorbidities like diabetes, obesity, fatty liver, and chronic liver diseases. He said the theme of this year's conclave is Keep Your Liver Safe in COVID Times, which is important in these testing times.
अभी बहुत सारी जो दवाइयाँ कोविड के लिए इस्तेमाल में ली जा रही हैं, रेमडेसिविर और इस प्रकार की दवाइयाँ, ये भले ही अभी ट्रायल स्टेज में है, बहुत लोगों को इसका लाभ भी हो रहा है, लेकिन इनके बारे में साथ साथ ये भी बातें उभर कर आ रही हैं कि इनके इस्तेमाल से लिवर के अंदर डिस्टर्बेंसेस होते हैं और इसलिए जिनका लिवर ठीक है उनको वो डिस्टर्बेंसेस को भी वो टॉलरेट कर पा रहे हैं। लिवर का महत्व जो है बहुत अच्छे तरीके से आज कोविड के युग में भी बहुत प्रासंगिक हो गया है।
In Gujarat, the state government has increased the fine for not wearing face mask and spitting in public places in the state to 500 rupees from 200 rupees announced earlier. The decision was taken by Chief Minister Vijay Rupani today. Our correspondent reports that in areas falling under the Ahmedabad and Surat municipal limits, the fine for not wearing face mask in public places has already been increased to 500 rupees.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has praised the Union government for its comprehensive steps in the fight against the COVID-19. Speaking today at a conclave on World Hepatitis Day, Mr. Birla said he has great faith in the strength and resilience of the Indian people. He said the path to victory can be difficult, but never impossible. The Speaker emphasized the responsibility of public representatives to spread awareness about liver diseases among people.
विश्व हेपेटाइटिस दिवस पर मैं देश के सभी माननीय सांसद, सभी जनप्रतिनिधियों से आग्रह करता हूं, हम सबको सामूहिक प्रयास से इस वायरस को रोकने का प्रयास करना चाहिए, क्योंकि देश और दुनिया के अंदर हेपेटाइटिस बी और सी जिस तरीके से फैल रहा है, हम सबके लिए चिंता का विषय है और इसीलिए इसके प्रारंभिक लक्षण के समय हम जांच कराएं, इसके रोकने के पुख्ता इंतजाम करें।
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of some leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Director at AIIMS in Delhi, Dr. Randeep Guleria advised the people to aggressively follow the social distancing and hand hygiene norms to check the spread of COVID-19 infection.
Regular hand washing should be done. So those who in an area where there is coronavirus infection should wash their hands regularly. You should avoid going to crowded places because if someone in the crowd is coughing and has the infection, he can spread to others in the crowded places. And if any member in your family has fever, cough, cold, he should stay at home and avoid going out so that he doesn't spread the infection to other people in the community.
India is all ready to welcome the first batch of 5 Rafale jets tomorrow morning. The fighter jets built by French aviation firm Dassault took off from the Mérignac Air Base in South France's Bordeaux. The fighter jets will officially be inducted and join the Indian Air Force fleet at Haryana's Ambala Air Base. The 5 aircraft batch is the first tranche of the 36 planes bought by India from France in a 59,000 crore rupees intergovernmental deal in 2016. The Rafale aircraft is covering a distance of nearly 7,000 kilometers from France to India with mid-air refueling and a single stop at a French airbase in the United Arab Emirates. Indian Embassy in France in a statement said delivery of 10 aircrafts has been completed on schedule, but 5 will stay back in France for training mission. The delivery of all 36 aircraft will be completed on schedule by the end of 2021. A report.
The Rafale fighter jets had mid-air refueling before reaching the Al Dhafra Air Base in UAE. After the layover, the jets will embark on their final leg of journey to India. The Indian Air Force appreciated the support provided by French Air Force for the Rafale journey back home. The fighter jets are capable of carrying a range of highly effective weapons, including the Kater air-to-air missile and Scalp cruise missile. The Rafale jets will come with various India-specific modifications, including Israeli helmet-mounted displays, radar warning receivers, low-band jammers and 10-hour flight data recording. The Air Force has readied the required infrastructure to welcome the jets in its lineup. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
The second draft of Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020 has been placed in public domain, inviting suggestions and comments from various stakeholders and the general public. The first draft was web-hosted and comments, recommendations and suggestions were solicited from various stakeholders by April 17th. This was later extended to 8th of May. Since then, suggestions were received from various stakeholders, services and industry running into more than 10,000 pages. After an analysis of these comments, specific interactions were also carried out with the entire spectrum of stakeholders, both in person and via web conferences, in order to understand their precise concerns. The amended second draft has since been finalized by the review committee, driven by tenets of defence reforms announced as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and has been placed in the public domain. Specific comments have been sought on the amended draft by the 10th of August. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss future strategies with stakeholders from banks and NBFCs tomorrow. COVID-19 fatality rate drops to 2.25%. Total recoveries cross 9.5 lakh mark. India all set to welcome the first batch of 5 Rafale jets tomorrow morning. Government notifies changes in foreign direct investment norms on civil aviation. Permits non-resident Indians to own 100% stake of Air India, and veteran actor Kumkum passes away in Mumbai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
The government has notified changes in foreign direct investment norms on civil aviation. It will permit non-resident Indian nationals to own 100% stake of Air India. Last month, the government for the third time extended the deadline to bid for Air India. The deadline was extended by 2 months till August 31st. The divestment process for the national carrier was initiated on January 27th. In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan chaired the first virtual cabinet meeting of the state from a hospital in Bhopal. Mr. Chauhan, who had tested positive for coronavirus on Saturday, was shifted to a hospital. More from our correspondent.
For the first time in the country, Madhya Pradesh has organized a virtual meeting of the state cabinet. Minister of Home Dr. Narottam Mishra informed that during the meeting the MP cabinet approved the Mukhyamantri Gramin Path Vikreta Rin Yojana, means Chief Minister Rural Street Vendor Loan Scheme. The scheme has been prepared for the rural areas on the line of Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi Yojana.
तो मुख्यमंत्री ग्रामीण पथ विक्रेता ऋण योजना को भी आज कैबिनेट के द्वारा मंजूरी दी गई है कि प्रधानमंत्री स्वनिधि योजना एक जो चल रही थी उसके बाद इसे और नीचे उतारा है। वो नगर पालिका नगर निगम तक थी, उन्होंने ये नगर पंचायत और ग्राम पंचायत तक इस लेके गए हैं।
The Chief Minister has also instructed all the ministers to prepare the action plan for Atmanirbhar Madhya Pradesh by 15 August. During the meeting, it was decided that the Chambal Expressway will now be renamed as Chambal Progressway. Sri Mishra said that this project will play an important role for the development of this region. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Rajasthan government today sent a proposal to Governor Kalaraj Mishra for the third time to convene a session of the State Assembly. In this proposal, the government has also replied to 3-point queries asked by the governor. However, the government has again proposed the 31st July date to call the House. Meanwhile, BJP MLA Madan Dilavar once again challenged the merger of 6 BSP MLAs into Congress in the Rajasthan High Court today. This time, Mr. Dilavar has challenged the decision of the Speaker, C.P. Joshi, who dismissed his petition related to this merger. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
The governor has said that if the government wants to call the house in normal conditions, then it is necessary to give 21 days notice. Otherwise, the government should clarify that it wants to get a confidence vote in the house. On the other hand, the government is saying that it is the right of the cabinet to call the house and the governor is bound to accept its decision. Meanwhile, challenging the merger of BSP MLAs in Congress in the High Court is being considered a major setback for the government. On the other hand, BSP Chief Mayawati has also said that the party will approach the Supreme Court in this issue. Overall, the political crisis of the state has now become multifaceted and the chances of the end of this crisis soon is much less. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Uttar Pradesh attempted for a unique record today by planting saplings of 240 tree species within an hour. The aim was to make a new record and conserve some of the native species once found in abundance but which are now rarely spotted. A report.
The Forest Department of the state worked on this unique plantation drive across 8 districts today. At least 12 saplings, each of the 240 species, were planted during the hour, and overall 2,880 saplings were planted. Each of the 8 participating districts got a minimum of 30 species in a bid to conserve the biodiversity of the state. The participating districts included Gautam Budh Nagar, Meerut, Barabanki, Lucknow, Banda, Sitapur, Faizabad and Chitrakoot. Chief Conservator Forest of the state, Mukesh Kumar, said that while attempting for the record, strict adherence to the social distancing was followed. He said the documents related to the record will be sent to the Office of Guinness Book of World Records. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, there is no let-up in the prevailing floods condition in the state. About 30 lakh people in 12 districts are affected by the floods. Over 11 lakh people of Darbhanga are reeling under the impact of flood. The other worst affected districts are Gopalganj, Saran, Samastipur, East and West Champaran. The flood water has damaged 110 roads and vehicular traffic on 28 roads has been halted. Rail traffic on Darbhanga-Samastipur section of East Central Railways remains suspended on the 5th consecutive day due to overflooding of rail tracks at several places. 26 teams of NDRF and SDRF have been pressed into service. Over 260,000 people have been evacuated so far. Gandak, Bagmati and Kamla Balan rivers are flowing above danger marks. Met Department has forecast widespread rain across the state in the next 48 hours. In flood-hit Assam, situation has improved as there was no rainfall during the last 24 hours. Water levels of the major rivers are receding now at several places. However, 20 lakh people are still affected in the third wave of floods. Relief materials are being distributed by the administration. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal visited Lal Pukhri area, which is affected by the erosion of Buroi River, and inspected the erosion protection measures in Biswanath district today. Mr. Sonowal said that several hectares of land were lost due to erosion in Assam.
In Jammu and Kashmir, a terrorist was killed when a group of 5 terrorists tried to sneak into this side of the fence opposite to Kalal area of Naushera sector of Rajouri district today. AIR Jammu correspondent, quoting official sources, reports that movement of these terrorists was seen and was well intercepted before terrorists could have managed to reach the LOC and were engaged. The body of the killed terrorist was taken away by his 4 associates who returned to the launch pad. The group of heavily armed terrorists was possibly a Fedayeen squad. Searches are going on in the area. In Bihar, an FIR was lodged in a police station of Patna in film actor Sushant Singh Rajput suicide case. Inspector General Sanjay Kumar told AIR that the case was lodged by father of the deceased actor at Rajiv Nagar police station on July 25th. The FIR was lodged against 5 people, including actress Riya Chakraborty, under various sections of IPC. Meanwhile, a 4-member police team of Patna reached Mumbai today in connection with the suicide case. Sources said that Sushant Singh Rajput's father has alleged that provoking circumstances are responsible for the suicide of his son. Veteran actor Kumkum, who featured in over 100 Hindi films and popular songs such as Kabhi Aar Kabhi Paar and Mere Mehboob Qayamat Hogi, passed away today. She was 86. Her sister-in-law Shahnaz informed that Kumkum, whose real name was Zebunissa, died at around 11:30 a.m. at her Bandra residence due to age-related issues. She said that actor Kumkum's last rites took place at Mazgaon Cemetery. Kumkum hailed from Husainabad in Sheikhpura district, Bihar. Her most memorable film appearances include Mr. X in Bombay, Mother India, Kohinoor, Ujala and Naya Daur.
Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar released the All India Tiger Estimation Report 2018 today on the eve of Global Tiger Day 2020. He also released a poster on small wild cats of India at the event. Addressing the media briefing in New Delhi, Mr. Javadekar informed that India is home to nearly 70% of the global tiger population and it leads the world in showing effective conservation of the wild species.
बाघों की रक्षा में भारत ने जो कदम उठाए, हम दुनिया के जो 13 देश है जिनके पास बाघ है, उनको सभी प्रकार की मदद करने के लिए तैयार है। उनको ट्रेनिंग भी देंगे, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग भी करेंगे, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि प्रकृति की रक्षा हो।
Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Puri today said that significant progress has been made under the PM Uday scheme during the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. In a series of tweets, he said the process has continued unhindered despite the challenges posed by the lockdown. The minister said a total of 2,83,258 registrations have been completed, which will benefit nearly 15 lakh residents of Delhi. He said conveyance deeds were handed over to 997 people. He added 97,124 GIS mappings have been done and 18,663 applications were received.
The law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh have been put on alert ahead of the festival of Eid-ul-Adha falling on the 1st of August. The police headquarters have asked its various units to remain vigilant of any possible attack by the terrorist outfits like Neo JMB in the country. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Sanjay Pandey, senior physician at GB Pant Hospital, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by the hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. The India Meteorological Department, IMD, has issued an alert for heavy rainfall in the national capital tomorrow and the day after. It said Delhi NCR is very likely to experience moderate rain with 1 or 2 spells of heavy rainfall of more than 65 millimeters during the period. IMD said at present the monsoon trough is running close to the foothills of the Himalayas and it will start shifting southwards from today. It will be close to Delhi NCR from this evening till Thursday.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. It will have a minimum temperature of around 26 degrees Celsius and maximum of 35 degrees. Mumbai will experience a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees and maximum 29 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 28 and 36 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 34 degrees. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees Celsius. The city will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 19 degrees, while the maximum will be 32 degrees. The city will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 18 and 30 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 17 and 35 degrees Celsius. It will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius, while the maximum temperature will be around 35 degrees. Chandigarh will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the headlines once again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss future strategies with stakeholders from banks and NBFCs tomorrow. COVID-19 fatality rate drops to 2.25%. Total recoveries cross 9.5 lakh mark. India all set to welcome the first batch of 5 Rafale jets tomorrow morning. Government notifies changes in foreign direct investment norms on civil aviation. Permits non-resident Indians to own 100% stake of Air India. And Veteran actor Kumkum passes away in Mumbai. And that is all in the evening news. Good night.